Not now, at least. Right now, he was too furious to experience desire, no matter what she looked like. When she reached him, she hid her arms around her back, behind her back, as if keeping the pen out of his reach. Strands of her hair, strands of her red hair blustered forward, stroking his face. His pupil dilated, black swollen violet. You can escape tonight, but I will find you. And when I do, I'm going to take that goddamn pen and make you wish you'd never met me. She leaned forward as though she planned to reveal a big secret. I already do wish I'd never met you. His warm breath fanned her cheek, a tender caress, and she had to jerk away from him before she did something stupid, like suck on his earlobes. Their gaze locked together, a tangle of emotions. Look at you, she said, and text under her tongue. At my mercy. He raised his chin. It won't always be this way. Like I want to keep you in my life that long. Always, please. She snorted. A few weeks should do it. You think I'll pretend it never happened? Leave you alone afterwards? Well, yeah. She ached a brow. Unless you want more of me. His eyes narrowed in tiny slits. His features were calm, but the pulse at the back of his neck hammered wildly. More of you. Interesting choice of words. Wind danced between them as his gaze perused her. Her nipples hardened, and she barely restrained herself from covering them with her hands. Instead, she raised her chin and dared him to say something about her weight. She was surprised when he bit his lower lips, as though he was imagining her taste in his mouth and liked it. Witches should have a code of honor preventing them from hurting others, he said softly. Here is an idea. I'll draft up a witch's code of honor, and you draft up a how to reject a woman nicely code of conduct. Sounds good? Shame colored his cheeks. Gold stars for me. Now drive the point deeper. Let me tell you a little something about me, Fallon. I have never had much self-esteem. My sisters are tall and slender, and men have always ruled over them. But not me, not chubby Glow. She laughed bitterly. She loved her sisters more than anything on this earth, but they were so perfect, so pretty, that she, who was already vapor, became something in comparison. In the span of 5 minutes, you managed to destroy what tiny bit of feminine pride I had. His shoulders flattened against the trunk, his eyes closed and drew in a breath. I admit it. I handled the situation wrong. Yes, you did. You didn't have to laugh at me. You could have simply said, no, thank you. I wasn't laughing at you. Not really. I just wanted to ensure you never came back. Wait, that sounds just as bad. Look, the truth is, sending you away had nothing to do with your appearance. Oh, please. It didn't. His lids popped open, and he was suddenly staring at her with such intensity she had trouble breathing. You are a witch. There was so much hatred in his voice. She stumbled back. Yeah, so? So, let's just say I'm not very fond of witches. She snorted, refusing to believe him. You've always been nice to Godiva and Genevieve. I wasn't attracted to them. The admission was narrow, more an accusation than anything. That's... Wait, what? He was attracted to her. Pleasure zoomed through her with such potency she almost fell to her knees. But the sensation lasted only 5 seconds before common sense reared its ugly head. He'll say anything to soften you, even a humiliating lie. Pleasure morphed into snaring fury. Why that? That bastard. Her fingers tightened against the stick and she had to fight the urge to grab the pen and write a hungry lion into the scene. So you were attracted to me, were you? She asked so calmly as she was able. What do you think? He muttered, motioning to his dick with his chin. She dropped her gaze, staring between his legs with wonder. Okay, maybe he hadn't been lying. He was hard, his erection straining against his jeans. That's not because of me, was it? Your nipples are hard, and I can see the outline of fine red hair between your legs. Obviously, you are not wearing any panties, so yeah, it's because of you. Her mouth floundered open and closed. Only because I'm the only woman present and you are probably in heat. Warmth bloomed in her face as she finally covered her breasts with one arm and between her legs with the other. So you can just look away. Make me. I'll take away your sight. Just see if I won't. Finally, his gaze snapped back up to her face. Are you truly that cruel? Damn him. He zapped her anger with those words, making her feel like a wicked witch Evie had teased her about being. No, I wouldn't go that far, she whispered, as shamed as she had been a moment ago. How far are you going to take it then? She bared down at her bare feet. Ache. Time for a pedicure, and kicked a rock with the tip of her toe. I honestly don't know. Fallon clenched his jaws, cutting off any words that might try to escape his mouth. A mouth currently watering for a taste of the woman in front of him. Her curves were a thing of beauty, and with ribbons of moonlight seeping from the canopy of treetops, paying her flawless skin absolute tribute. With that flame red hair dancing like nothing nymphs around her shoulders and her lips glistening from the string of her teeth, his beast wants to tame her beauty. Except she now appeared defeated. He hated seeing her almost like that, as much as he hated being bound. Almost right now, however, he was too primed to feel anything more than desire. He wanted her to reach out and touch him, kiss him, suck him. He was hard as a damned rock and needed to come. The night you came to my house in that trench coat, he said. Her attention suddenly locked on him, and the fire blazing inside him. The night you screwed that fairy hooker. That night, surprisingly enough, her waspish tone delighted him. Jealous? As if he hadn't invited the fairy, whatever her name was, to his house. He'd met her in town earlier that day and talked and laughed with her, but hadn't meant to take it further. She was married, for God's sake. Had Glory not been standing in front of him, he would have sent the fairy away. He liked sex, yes, but he'd never allowed a woman inside his home. They tended to linger, and he liked to do the deed and move on. In fact, the moment Glory had taken off, he sent the pink-skinned fairy packing, despite the fact that she had offered him apples off her body. He hadn't even touched her. He just stood at the window, peeking out the blinds like a criminal, hoping for the dreading a reappearance from Glory. He'd been hard then too, so maybe he should have slept with the fairy. But it had been flame red hairs his hands had wanted to tangle in, hazel eyes he wanted to stare into, and a soft, plush body he'd wanted to penetrate. No one else would have done. Maybe That was why he hadn't been able to have sex these past few months. He felt guilty for how he's hurt Glory, so his body would no longer allow him to respond to other women. Maybe he needed to sleep with her once or twice and build up her self-esteem. She'd feel better about herself. He'd stop feeling guilty for the way he treated her, and they could both go on with their lives. Are you kidding? Are you so hard up you've got bed a witch? Think of the consequences, idiot. She's not now. So how much worse will she be after you slept with her? What if she didn't want things to end after sex was over? What if she tried to push him again? Oh, hello, she said, exasperated. What? He asked more harshly than he'd intended. She crossed her arms over her chest, drawing the materials of her gown tighter over her breast and nipples, which were still hard. She was killing him. He could make out the edge of the pen between her fingers, but he couldn't make himself care. You mentioned the incident, she said. Well, what about it? He'd had a point, hadn't he? Oh, yeah. You were aroused when you came to me. A huffy gasp left her. No, I was not. I was going to give you a chance to arouse me, that's all. Please, you flashed me. And baby, you were already glistening. Her cheeks heated to the same shade of her hair, making her all the lovelier. You are very close to losing your favorite appendage. Scrolling, peering at him hotly, she jerked the hand holding the pen forward and poised it just below his nose. Wait. He rushed out. Damn her and her powers. He lost his erection as every reason he hated witches flashing through his mind. I'm sorry, but not as sorry as you'll soon be. You were cold as ice that night. You nearly signed me. You weren't turned on at all. The scent of your desire will imprint on my brain. Slowly, she lowered her arm, expression mollified. The limbs binding him began to loosen their grip, and he blinked in surprise. Was it possible? With a twist of his wrist, he was free. That easy, that simple, as if he'd never been born. He had to hold on to the limb to keep them upright. He blinked again, doing his best to hide the elation. Glory was going to pay. Oh, was she going to pay? First, he had to claim that fucking pen. Come here, he said as gently as he was able. Please, I want to tell you a secret. She shook her head, red coils flinging in every direction. What kind of secret? Suspicion danced in her eyes. He tried to look troubled. Tell me like this, no one can hear us. I don't want to say it aloud. It's embarrassing. Several moments ticked by, and she remained in place. Then, she sighed and stuck to him, hands fisted on her hips. She was so sure of her pros and his weakness, she learned. What? She said. Her feminine fragrance wafted to his nostrils, the same aroma she'd admitted the night on his porch. In the cell, she still desired him. He took a moment to simply enjoy. Savor crickets chirped a long song, and locusts rattled an accompanying fast-standing rhythm. In the distance, a dog barked. Around them, pink flower petals floated through the air, warm and sweet, each laced with a strong aphrodisiac. He'd heard that Glory had cast a love spell over the entire town, and since that day, the petals had fallen from the sky like summer snow. What? She demanded again. This. He grinned and snapped his arms close around her waist. She yelped. Got ya, he said.